Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another GeekVerse review. This time we're talking about Dexter Original Sin, Episode 7. I'm one of your hosts, the suspended Kirkland Patzer.
I am the 123 Taylor Field.
Oh, I was thrown off because you were in the player one seat for visual viewers only.
Apologies.
I feel like I always have this one box as player one in my mind, just video game tie over, but... This means nothing to the audio listeners. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're back for another week of Dexter Original Sin. But before that, just a couple of plugs. I believe I've kind of been out in the mountains this last week, so I've kind of been out of the loop. This is my first day back. But I believe you guys did a nice, juicy newscast this week, if I'm not mistaken.
You're correct.
Nice. Okay.
You're on a roll.
There was a side quest this week as well. We're all done Creature Commandos. We're all done Skeleton Crew. So all those reviews are on the feeds. Taylor, we recorded a Daredevil retro as well, season 2.
That's right.
Season 1, I believe, is released now on all the feeds. All that stuff you can find on our Patreon, which is the best place to support us. You get everything early, ad-free, and exclusive. You gas? Did you
I
want to throw
guess
something
because we got after 9 tomorrow, which
oh, that's right.
reminding myself.
Thank you for reminding me because I completely forgot about that. So yes, after 9, that's our call-in show. Phase 2. Wow, tier 2.
I'll take your word for it because I don't think I
and
know.
higher. Yes, I'm fumbling on my words here, but no, it's lots of fun. So go check it out on the Patreon for all of that. Shouts out to our highest tiered, which is our Patreon producers. There they are: Aaron Braden, April of Darkness, Jack Grant, Muds, Sam, Superbad Mike, The Good God Loves Me 69, Jeremy Renner, and Charlie Randell. Thank you so much for supporting all the shows and each and every one of you. We appreciate you. But here we are, Taylor Field, through that rocky intro. We're back. Dexter Original Sin. You know, you were kind of taking a hiatus last week. You were out of the country adventuring, and so was Dexter because there was no episode released last week. So here we are. Did you remember what happened in episode 6? Because it's been so long.
I
Are you?
remembered. Yeah, I mean, it was not easy to forget.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So
Were you surprised with, I mean, spoiler free, of course, how they picked up from last week going into this week? And did you enjoy this episode overall?
I really enjoyed this episode, and I was
Nice.
not surprised by how they picked up. I felt like, okay, that's exactly what I anticipated was going to happen. I mean, well, Dexter gets caught. They catch him and
He's
kill
in
him
jail.
in this episode. Yeah.
The Bay
My
Harbor
God.
Butcher. He's
Yeah.
done for.
That's right. So I think that all in all, yeah, this episode was expected, but also unexpected because there are some stuff in here that completely blew my mind. I was not anticipating, so I really am. I'm all aboard for this. Holy
All
smokes.
aboard. Yeah. So this is episode 7 of 10, right? I believe. Yeah. So, yeah, I must say, I feel like this episode, for me, started off really like eye-rolly in the sense of like, this is just so corny that they even like tried to build up suspense for this cliffhanger. And then what followed that, I just couldn't believe what was happening. Of course, I'll detail that in the spoiler section, but it just seems so satirical and like goofy that it's just like, oh my God, this is like a Scooby-Doo cartoon now. It was just like the lucky situations that are happening for our boy Dexter here. But I think all of that was really just contained in the beginning of the episode, like literally the first 5 or 10 minutes. I think beyond that, I was pretty engaged for the whole thing. I'm liking what's going on with Dexter, the serial killer, like behind the scenes, but also the plot with the the cop's son, Nicky, I believe is his name, and that whole like plot line. Like I was still engaged with that throughout this whole episode. We have some Deb stuff in here, so I think this was a really good, just solid episode throughout, especially when I compare it to like other episodes that have come out this season. But my God, yeah, the ending definitely had me gasped. It's something I never would have seen coming. I'm excited to talk about it. I feel like it's so fresh. I don't even know fully how I feel about it. And yeah, it makes me like question a lot of things that I've already seen this season. So I think with what was revealed here at the end, it really has me interested on like looking out for things if I were to rewatch this season and to, like try to notice some things. And hopefully that's not too spoilery. But yeah, no, it was pretty juicy, and I like kind of what was revealed going into episode 8, 9, 10 now for the final 3. I'm just pretty intrigued what's going to be shown here. But yeah, no, I thought it was a really good episode, and honestly, I felt like it flew by. Maybe it's just because
Yes.
we skipped last week. I'm not really used to the runtime. I don't think it was a shorter episode overall compared to all of them, but this one just like ended. I'm like, oh my god, are you serious? That's it. So I think they did their job well there. But anything else you want to throw in, or should we skedaddle over?
There was a couple things which I'll bring up in the spoilers because it's like it felt like okay, this is ending on a little bit of a high note. Where high note, more like a cliffhanger, I guess. We're gonna be picking up or touching base on this again in the future, but maybe not. I don't know. I feel like the main narrative that is just kind of unraveled in this episode is gonna kind of take precedence, so it's gonna be hard to kind of detour off to other narratives that exist in this world so far. But I'm beating around the bush, and I don't want to. No, I'll wait till spoilers to mention it because
We're almost there. We're almost there. Just hold your breath.
The camera just panned to something specific, and okay, that's very weird. I feel like that's going to be touched upon at a later date, or it's going to have a callback. But we'll see. I digress.
Yeah. We digress here on the GeekVerse podcast. And as we digress, we're going to throw to a quick ad break. And then when we get back, we are going to be unraveling everything that was done here in this episode 7, Dexter Original Sin. We'll be right back. All right. We are back. I kind of want to start with just the juicy stuff at the end, unless you want to build up to that, just because it's so exciting. So
Just
yes,
getting the juice.
final warning, big spoilers here. We're gonna spoil some stuff here. Taylor Field. So McDreamy is a bit of a. I don't know if he's just a cartel psychopath or they have him so much by the balls. I feel like we had a certain smirk at the end of the episode that made me think he's like pretty much enjoying the whole situation. I never would have seen this coming by any regards, whether it was the way the actor was portraying like everything that was going on, like especially when he's so scared for his son and all that. So that's what I was kind of hinting at earlier in the spoiler-free section, at that like I want to rewatch the season now and like see if I notice certain things from his behaviors that would be a tell, because they revealed here that it's, I would say 99% chance that he is the one that chopped off his own son's finger and is doing all these crazy things. What do you think about it?
Completely caught me off guard, but it fits, and I love the story. I think it's great, and I love that Dexter discovered it, and just that whole scene, that score kicks in, and it's just unraveling, and he's like, oh my god, he's figured it out. It's like, god damn, this is great. And no one else is going to know, because he's going to get the kill. He's going to put the captain on his table, and he's going to nerf him, and the rest is history.
But they still have to find the son, right? Like, there's still that other aspect to that dynamic. Like, Dexter can't just cleanly kill this guy and just wipe his hands clean, and this is like, that's the end of the problem, right?
That's right, yeah. But I think there's a way that if Dexter puts this guy on his table, and then he's gonna wake up, be like, "What the fuck, Dex?" And Dexter's like, "Where's your son?" And then he'll be like, "Oh, he's here. Just let me go." And Dexter's gonna be like, "Nope," and just shivs him. So, I think that's. I feel pretty confident that's what's gonna happen. I don't think the son's gonna die. I think he's gonna be fine. But it's just weird to think in retrospect that you have the captain who he went into his ex-wife's home and just kicked the shit out of her, and he's probably just like loving all of this.
He's been waiting for this moment.
Yeah, which is why I think this is his own motives to put the cartel in hot water, and he's just doing this on his own volition, right?
Because like, why would he have gone for the judge's son beforehand, right? Like before his own. Like, what's the motivation there if he's kind of doing it on his own? Like, I feel like there's got to be many pieces to the puzzle here.
The judge was a part of I can't even remember the case, but I think the judge was more of like a heavy hitter involved. And then, to, up the ante, he made his threats and then abducted his own son to kind of carry on this.
It's a fucking wild move.
It is. It is. I mean, technically, he's not even a serial killer yet because he hasn't killed his third person. He's only killed the one person, right? If
that we know of.
Dexter, that we know of, yeah. Miami rules where your third kill is the serial killer.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm very intrigued as to what's going to happen in this next episode. I don't think there's going to be like a big showdown really in this episode. I think in this next episode. I think it's going to be, I don't like, does Dexter go to his dad like with this information? Like Harry? or is he just gonna play it close to the chest? Because they've already been kind of button heads, at various times in this.
He's he's told he's told his dad all of his victims so far. So
That's right. And
it
he,
would be
he
interesting.
he told him right away, right, about the like the crime scene in Gatortown.
Yeah.
Like so he wasn't really hiding it there. So yeah,
I
I
could
don't
see
see
him
why he
telling
wouldn't
him.
keep it. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know if his dad, like, what's his dad gonna say? Like, oh yeah, just kill him. I mean, this is one of his dad's friends,
I
right?
think his dad's gonna be like, I don't fucking believe you, right?
Yeah.
Like that, like you're mistaken. That there's no way that is possible. Um, but yeah, no, I was gonna say I feel like next episode is gonna be Dexter, like maybe trying to unravel more, maybe like confront him, not necessarily strapped to the table, but just maybe try to get information out of him and like get him to slip up. But I don't even know. I don't even know anymore because definitely was not expecting this twist at the end here. Um, it was definitely a holy shit moment, and then of course that's when the episode ended, and then it's like, what? Really? That's it?
I
We're gonna
know.
wait till next week. So at least the season's 10 episodes, not 8. That's I'm happy with the amount of time that we have left to really handle this threat. Like I'm glad this wasn't just revealed in episode 9 going into episode 10, right? So yeah, I'm hoping for some nice juicy substance to come out of this. I hope it's not just like a really quick cheesy, like it was me the whole time. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
evil and wanted to chop my son's fingers off. I'm expecting a little bit more than that
Yeah.
for the reveal.
Yeah, I am too. And I love how low key it was. I mean, the captain is in Dexter's office. He's in the lab. He's going over the results because clearly he's concerned that they'll detect his DNA. But well, he wouldn't be worried about that, I guess, anyways, because he's just looking to see what they pull from it. But I loved how subtle it was because I saw his sleeve and I thought, what is that? And I thought in my head, oh, that'd be kind of weird if he was the killer. That would be kind of like wild. But then I thought nothing of it because I thought it was just his sleeve because he's wearing like a dress shirt. And then when Dexter honed in on it, immediately I was like, holy fuck, okay. But I love those moments. It's just like when we're in the first episode and Dexter catches on to the nurse being the one to be like killing these people,
Mm-hmm.
and you get that wave of realization, and it's great. I love. It's one of my favorite things about Dexter is just that that hit feeling because
Mm-hmm.
it's not something you always get in a lot of other shows, but Dexter does a great job at delivering on it.
It was literally the exact same scene from Spider-Man 1 at the Thanksgiving dinner table when he's like, "Oh, you where'd you get that bike messenger copy?"
Willem Dafoe.
Just bleeding through his sleeve.
Yeah.
I really had no idea what it was. Like I said, like it was the last thing I would have expected. So he like is honing in on it. And I'm like, is it like a burn or something? Like, what the fuck is the significance here? Is he diving with the
Fixing
gators?
AC in
Yeah.
his apartment.
That's such a weird thing to say in that moment. But
Oh yeah, complete bullshit.
and he's like fucking just buying these like meals that's like the number one sus thing. He's like buying it on his own credit card. It's just like, okay, this is kind of. I feel like he's not that smart for just some of those actions, but they really had to just make it clear. That's like, no, this is the guy. He's buying the meals. Look at him. He's getting the Lunchables.
That's right. I mean, I didn't need that scene, but it definitely
Yeah.
cemented in like he's a sadistic fuck. He likes
And that's where he showed the smile, right? Like he's like
That's where he showed
smirking.
the
I'm like,
smile.
oh yeah,
That's
he's
right.
looking like the New York assassin, right? Smiling on the CCTV.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, sorry to just start at the end, but I was just really excited to
No.
talk about that. But
Mhm.
beyond that, we can go to the beginning now and talk about
Yes.
a really, really quick cheesy reveal. I mean, this is pretty much exactly what we expected it to be, right? I think you actually called that he would just flash his badge, and it's like, I'm here, I'm first guy on the scene. Just so like lucky and like so random that like LaGuerta's already there and like fucking his whole team is there as if he would have been
Asuka,
called.
yeah.
Yeah, like as if he would have been called there already, and he just showed up like the exact same time. It's like, oh my god, this is so cheesy and corny. But there was a little bit of tension, I guess, just knowing that there was a body in the back of his vehicle. They didn't really do too much with that though. I was maybe expecting a little bit more. The one that really killed me was when the fucking alligator comes in, Killer Croc comes in and just eats all the evidence. I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, this is so cheesy and lazy. I hated that so much. Why, I don't know. Why even like bring it in? Angel mentions that he like recognizes it, but Dexter really sussily like just deflects the whole thing. Like, why are you focusing on this? Go focus on the missing kid. Like, just ignore all this. He's like, thanks, Dexter. Thanks for telling me not to investigate this. Like,
Talking
it
me
just
off that ledge.
all of that was so just stupid to me, and that's where I was just like rubbing my eyes. Like, man, I can't believe this is actually happening. But
That's a common thing, though, I feel, with Batista and Dexter, because even in the actual show, I feel like there's many scenes where Dexter just, like, Batista's, like, headstrong, like, he's figuring it out, and Dexter's like, oh, hey, who's that over there? And Batista's like, oh, thanks for talking me out of it,
something
Dex.
shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just. So hopefully in the new show, when we have old Batista, he'll get his redemption and
Oh,
finally
no, Dexter's
be
going
able
to play him.
I finally got you, Dexter. I knew you did it all along. He's like, oh, why are you focusing on me? Focus on this guy. It's like, oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
thanks, Dex. Thanks for talking me off the ledge.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, if that happens, Angel is by far like one of the dumbest characters this entire show. But so yeah, that really bothered me. I mean, it didn't last that long. Like I said, like it's pretty much just the beginning of the episode where it really bothered me. But like, why even have that threat? I guess it's to reinforce that he has to find like a new kill spot. So I guess that's the reason. But
I think they're really emphasizing, too, his lack thereof skill and perfection at this, right? I mean, for crying
keeps
out loud,
fucking up, yeah.
broad daylight, he drags the body out of his fucking truck and throws in the dumpster. I don't think I've never seen that. That's the thumbnail picture of him in the fucking dumpster. Like, I don't think Dexter from the original show has ever done that, but maybe Travis, you can pull the truth on that. I don't know if there's a scene, but
yeah, it's like, no, he didn't do it for the first time until season 2. That's what he's gonna say.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Mhm.
Oh, we love you, Travis.
He got his DNA all over that fucking corpse, though. Like, it fell onto him.
Oh yeah,
And then it was, like, all over the
he's
side
wearing
of
his corpse
head.
clothes, like talking to
Yeah.
Dad, like drinking some juice in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Amateur.
But that scene, this is what I was alluding to in the non-spoilers. When he sits in his truck and he's waiting for the garbage truck or the dump truck to come and take it away, that bin specifically, the camera pans off after Dexter drives away to a banana peel on the ground. And I thought, that's kind of weird.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it was very quick, and I thought, that's kind of weird. And that's what's making me think, are they going to call back to this? There's no way that they'd be able to properly trace where that body was dumped into the dump truck, from which bin. Well, maybe they could. Maybe they know, okay, this truck is going to hit these 10 spots before it goes to the dump. And then they're like, oh, we found a banana peel here. Let's do a test and see. But again, that's me painting a picture that's non-existent because Dexter doesn't get caught at this time.
You know what's gonna happen? Batista's gonna find that banana peel, and he's gonna be like, "Guys, this is very suspect. There's a lot of human DNA on this, and it really makes me think about these other murders we was investigating." Dexter would be like, "Hey, buddy, you know,
let's talk you off that ledge there, Batista.
Why are you focusing on the potassium of the banana peel? Like, let's go over here. Oh, thanks for talking off that ledge, Dexter. I love it."
I hope they wise him up in the next resurrection. God damn.
He's been like a pretty minor character throughout this whole show. I feel like that's been kind of surprising to me. In hindsight, not so much. Like, we have a lot of Batista and like the other characters in the original show.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. He just seems a lot more of a side character than I would have expected. At least at like this point of the show, now that we're in like the back third.
Yeah.
Where
do we go next?
Where do you go next? Poor Deborah. She's just basically saying fuck it to school. She suspended from school, lost her soon-to-be scholarship off the team, lost her best friend. A lot of stuff going on with her. She didn't really seem to really give a shit because she's just gonna go hang out with her boy toy. I can't remember his name now, but she's kind of just throwing it all out the window there. And do you think it's justified?
No, I don't think it's justified. No. It's an unfortunate mistake, but I applaud her stance, because when the girl like shoved her and she put her right foot back, I went in like a fucking MMA stance.
She's a green belt at least.
Yeah, and just that punch. Oh my god, I felt that when I was sitting on my
broke
couch.
Her nose.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ. So.
And like, what a fucking bitch move by your friend. Like, what the hell? Like, she just ratted on her, and then that's what caused this whole debacle, because she was defending her brother like completely in the wrong. yeah, I felt bad for Deb. She, to even be in that situation, I think she could have handled it a little bit better. You know, violence is never the answer, as wise
Mm-hmm.
people say. But solid punch. You know, it was like a Hermione Granger in the Azkaban movie. Like that was a solid
That
punch there.
felt good.
Yeah. um, but yeah, like I don't remember from the original show. Does she actually get that scholarship, or she's this is just no?
Ooh, that's a
She's done
Travis
now.
question. That's a Travis
Yeah,
question. I don't think so because she ends up becoming like
police
Miami
officer,
PD. Yeah, she becomes a
bottom
cop.
barrel.
So yeah, that's right. So I don't think she goes and pursues that scholarship.
Not educated.
No, so it is unfortunate what her friend did. That definitely does suck a
Yeah.
lot, because I mean Dexter, the friend can't see this. And the friend is definitely on many different wavelengths, but of course they're in high school. But when the friend like not smashes, but drops her vehicle right behind Dexter as
Oh
he's
yeah.
reversing in the driveway and jumps in the vehicle, is like, "Why the fuck haven't you been talking to me?" Yada yada yada. And then he's like, "I almost got eaten by a alligator." She's like, "Oh my poor baby, I'm so sorry." Like, this does not seem healthy relationship. Uh,
Yeah. No, it's definitely not a healthy relationship. I laugh so hard when there's just like the condom wrapper in the truck. I'm like, okay, how are they going to explain this? And like, it's just implied that he actually just stepped on a condom wrapper because, like, from what his crime scene that he was at in the Gator country. Because
well,
like in his inner voice, I swear that's what he said. He's like, "Oh, he's like, that's
yes.
kind of lucky that the way that happened." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? That's how that relationship ended." Like, I just couldn't believe it. It seems so simple. Like, control alt delete. Like, let's just get out of this
Yeah.
whole relationship to have this random condom wrapper. It wasn't even like it was revealed that it was Deb's or something. Like nothing. It was just no. I stepped on it and it was just randomly in my shoe. I couldn't believe that, but
Well, I thought they shared the truck. I didn't like at this point when they're like, "Oh, it was in Dexter's truck." I was like, "Oh, I didn't know it was Dexter's truck," because I thought
yeah,
Harry used it too.
yeah,
Like
he's
Deb
probably
used it.
using
They
it.
all use it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably Harry's condom.
That's right.
Who
That's right.
knows? But yeah, a lot of that was just really too convenient for how like those situations were playing out, and very just jump to conclusions. I think with like her friend's side and Deb and just all that stuff. So unfortunate for Deb. I mean, we know her fate, but yeah, I just didn't think it was the cleanest execution of that sequence of events there.
No, and I thought they were gonna turn it around when Deb approached her and was like, "Oh, Dex is an idiot." Yada yada
Yeah, I
yada.
thought she was gonna like actually come around and be like, well, maybe it was my condom. You know, like you never know that. It's like, oh, you're right. No, I'm. But just right away, it's like taking your brother's side over me. Like fuck you, you're dead to me. And then just rats out on all of her past crimes. Like
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Mm.
Okay, let's go to
Shitty.
another ad break and then we'll continue on. Taylor Fields.
Yeah.
We
In the
just talked
house.
about Deb. We talked about. I guess we didn't talk about Harry's past. You know, the '70s badass Miami Vice look that they have this guy rocking. I guess this is in the Deb's in the world now. He's kind of pushing away from Laura, getting back to his wife. You know, not being so unfaithful to her anymore. But we're just getting closer and closer to the crisis event for poor Laura here. She actually met Mr. Estrada in the flashback. They have this lady doing a lot of nude shots throughout the show, which is
Yeah.
interesting, but don't think it's always necessary. But hey, hope she's getting paid for it at least. And yeah, what did you think about these flashback sequences?
The Estrada stuff always makes me antsy because I'm thinking, okay, is this where we're going down? Is it
Yeah,
happening? But nope, not yet. So it seems like she's expanding her territory a little bit and probably gonna crack down. And this is probably where she's gonna get caught because she's really in hot water now. Uh, with Harry, it was interesting because yeah, he has a very sincere moment with his wife, apologizes, and then him and Laura's just like, I've done this for over a year. Like, when's it gonna end? And he's just like, oh, just a little longer, a little longer. Like he's just, I can't imagine that. It's just a shitty situation. But that's where they ended, right? I thought they were talking about him being with his wife and not moving in with Laura or whatever. But then I realized, okay, it's about the case in Estrada. I laughed, and I know this is gonna piss Travis off. He's probably fuming right now because when Laura's like goodbye, and Dexter runs in and is like, "Daddy," and she's like, "That's not your daddy," and then like picks him up and walks away. And so Harry's like, "Okay, I just gotta go." But then you get like this ominous, dark theme, and it just you look down the hall and there's Brian, Dexter's brother, like half creeping out the doorway, just staring. And I know Travis is just fucking fuming, like what's going on here. But I liked it. I thought it was a good foreshadow, and you only know that if you've watched the show up until this point. But people that don't know, I mean, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck's wrong with this kid?" And has that mystery behind it. So
Yeah, Travis.
Are you fucking kidding me?
that's been him for the whole show.
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel bad for Emily just having to be around that as he's watching the show. Yeah, I feel like I enjoyed the more Laura side of these flashbacks, mostly just because any time that she's like going to her house or something and just these cartel people come and pick her up, and it's just like, man, you have no idea if this is gonna be the last time that you ever like see your own house, right? Like, just I think they do a good job at building upon that tension, because it's happened many times now where she thinks like this is the end. I think it's the end, right? Like, I've been talking about that for weeks. Every time we see these scenes, whether she's at the shipping yard or not, I'm just like, oh my god, it's coming, oh my god, it's the hot tub time machine thing, right? With the guy with the missing arm. I'm just waiting for it to happen. So I think this one was good. Just actually having it face to face. I think because she is so close to the end, she's starting to maybe count her chickens before they hatch, so to speak. Like, I feel like she's not as like clean with her act, I guess I'm trying to say. Well, I think there are
She's
certain
pulling a
moments where
string here, like, are you gonna be there?
yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's something where Estrada like maybe is like, oh, that's a little suspect. Like, just not the most natural way to come to those certain things. I mean, he told his boy to keep an eye on her at the end there. So I think I mean, fuck, I know it's coming, but it's just interesting to watch it play out. So I am enjoying just the build up of the tension of those episodes, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty damn brutal when it happens.
It's gonna be very brutal. I always felt a little off on the fact that Harry is there all the time, his partner's there all the time. Like, they just show up at Laura's house. It's like, well, how do you know that it's not being surveyed or watched?
Oh yeah,
like
that's probably what's gonna happen now, right? Because he just said like keep an eye on her, and then they're gonna be hanging out like all the time. Like, yeah, it's super bad.
yeah. I had a point and I can't recollect it. How unfortunate.
Oof. Sorry about that.
That's okay. It happens.
It does happen. Where to go? Oh, something I thought was pretty interesting here was we get Dexter's first blood slide.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually going to be like a cool moment if this is his first blood slide, especially if I don't think he would keep that specific blood slide if this is the first time that he's keeping them, just because he probably can't take that out of evidence. Maybe he'll just draw it for the first time, but it was cool to see it there.
From the victim, right?
Was it from the victim? I thought that was the sample for like the box.
That was the box, but for him, because you're saying how will he get his blood trophy?
His first blood trophy, because I assumed that's what that was going to be, right? Especially if the McDreamy guy, forget his name in the show, the captain, but especially if he actually is the killer, and then Dexter gets him straddled to the table and stabs him, as like that victim. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just reading into that. But when I saw the blood slide, I got excited. I'm like, oh, this is going to be cool if he's actually starting this type of because that's his original trophies from the original show. So I just thought it was a cool moment. Maybe I'm reading into it too much.
No,
I thought it was pretty cool.
I agree. It was it's good. One of those little Easter egg kind of foreshadow things that we've seen before, where he's talking about how he needs a boat and how he's now drugging the victims so he can knock them unconscious and do what he does. It's him just finding his steps and finding out things that he likes. So I think it's got merit to it.
Absolutely. We have LaGuerta and Harry kind of working together a little bit, investigating what's a potential serial killer situation. Yeah, just a little bit of them working together. Not much more than that. I feel like that side plot one I'm not too gripped on so far. At least what was shown yet, but I don't know. I think they have decent chemistry, the two of them there.
Yeah, well, I mean, with all this talk Travis has of Harry just sleeping around with everyone, thinking like, man, is he gonna sleep with LaGuerta? Because it's like, oh,
That's
it's
where that condom came from.
that's where the condom came from. Yeah, it's like 4 hour drive. Like, oh, we'll go in mañana. And it's like, okay, they're getting there. Um, who knows though? I'm curious to see where it's gonna go with that serial killer who's just trying to kind of like learn his path. I feel like we've
Right.
got a lot of killers kind of on the go here, and we don't even know what's going on with Deb and her boyfriend. I feel like something's gonna be
Yeah.
going on there. So yeah, I don't know.
I guess that could be what ties it together, right? Like the serial killer case with LaGuerta, and then maybe Deb. Maybe that character is kind of tied to that situation a little bit more. I feel like that could be a clean way to tie those two things together. Because as you mentioned, there is a lot already going on, and if those aren't connected, I just feel like it's a lot to kind of handle right now. Because I honestly kind of forgot about that scene where Dexter was recreating like the choking at the beach and all that stuff. Just because I don't know, it's been a couple weeks now and wasn't a highlight of this episode per se, but. Yeah, I don't know. See what happens.
I like too that LaGuardia was just basically rehashing exactly what Dexter told her in her meeting with the captain and with Harry, just pitching that. And I think, okay, this here is where she's gonna obviously get a foot up because Dexter's right, and it's gonna prove to her like, okay, I'm definitely relying on him. He's definitely got some honed in senses, which we see she goes to bat for him and defend him in every situation in the Dexter original show until she finds out that he is the Bay Harbor Butcher when after Dokes dies and whatnot. But it's just cool to see how she's building that relationship with him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Got a lot of respect for Nicky in this episode. He was like making a prison shiv, getting ready to attack his attacker. He's chained to the ground, so he can't really go far. But fuck, he was swinging for his life there.
I figured that he would probably, if he got that shiv into the guy, that he would probably find keys on the guy's body if he took him out, and then he could undo his anklet and get out of there. But
Yeah.
fortunately not.
No, he took a number on him though. You know, just like that bike messenger clipped him.
How did you say it happened?
We had a sequence of Dexter going through, again, like he's trying to find his. Well, actually, that's the title of the episode, the big bad body problem, where he's trying to find a spot to drop dead bodies. He talks to a couple famous serial killers of the past. We have Ed Gein, John Wayne Gacy. It was kind of strange to me, just like him, like, hey pal, how's it going? Like, I don't know, it was just bizarre, but something I wasn't expecting. But yeah, it was something that happened here. I did like the scene that happened in the kind of staff room when they're all just kind of like talking about. It's like, wow, where would you hide a dead body? I feel like that could be seen really cheesy, and maybe it is to some people, but for me, I kind of thought it was funny. And then of course Harry comes in. He's like, maybe we shouldn't be talking about this. Like, it was just the look he gave Dexter, I thought was kind of funny.
I liked when Dexter brought that up, and Harry was like, what?
Yeah.
That was
Harry
funny.
looks at him like,
That's exactly right.
he's like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
Cool. Fuck, I think I don't really have much else. I'm looking through my quick little notes here. No, not really. I think we kind of. I mean, we started with the heavy stuff right at the gate because I was just excited to get in there. But is there anything else? Did you remember what you once forgot?
No, I didn't remember. I think that's it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm okay with that. Yeah, we'll be here next week. I hear rumors that a third may be joining us. We'll see what happens. I'm sure they got a lot of pent up aggression to release their thoughts, but we'll see if they actually make it out. But we'll be here nonetheless. Episode 8 next week. Thanks for being here with me, Taylor. This is lots of fun. And till next time, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be here. Bye bye.
Bye bye.